the 19th of March. A little bit of a dip, happening right now. We've got about 15 minutes before the U.S. market opens, and let's take a look here. You can see before we look at the futures, let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. Um, I'm still down in Vegas, by the way, so I can't talk too loud. Don't want to wake my wife up. It's earlier here, an hour earlier than usual. So West Coast time zone, man. It'll catch you, especially when you're in Vegas. Never get enough sleep in Vegas. Though I'm not full Degen mode like I usually am because it is a work trip, lots to do. So, but even at your best, you still too much to do, too much to see. But anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Join us today. Appreciate you. Bitcoin, as you can see, we're looking at 69,104. So we're down 4.5% today. Yesterday was just a bloodbath in the market. We just kind of started to drop down. We had the Powell speech, of course, as predicted. Like a 99 percentile chance that it wasn't going to happen, according to Polymarket, and of course it didn't. But once again, not surprising at all. But I don't know. Depends on how you interpreted it. Could have been a little bit hawkish. He did. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. But anyway, more or less, he didn't rise. We didn't think he would. And keep in mind, he hates Trump, and Trump hates him. So he's not going to do any favors, or I don't think he's going to do anything real positive coming out. But anyway, so we're starting to see a slow grind down. Couldn't hold that $70,000 level. Be nice if we can gain it. Might just be a little pop before the market, or we might just see, getting towards the end of the week. The war is still raging on. Nothing really settled there. In fact, a few escalations we'll talk about. Yeah, potentially, I would say strap in. If we don't pop back above that 70,000 when the market opens here in a few minutes, I would be prepared for some potential downside pain and potential grinding down. It's kind of what it's feeling. I think all the uncertainty is kind of what causes this. So to be continued, but as you can see, Bitcoin and even down almost 1% in the last hour. Um, Ethereum, we've got 2,120, um, down 5% for the almost 2% for the hour. Um, XRP, of course, knocked still holding that number four spot that it knocked BNB off of yesterday. $43.39, down 1.5% for the day, 1% for the hour. And Solana, $87.90. We're looking at down 2.7 for the day, 1.5 for the hour. Let's see if we can had some connection issues. Didn't think of the show, to be honest with you, fighting my internet here at the hotel all morning. But let's refresh this and just see what we come up with. Futures look like they might be getting a little worse. Yep, a little bit worse here. We see the let's see if I can pull it. Nasdaq looks like it's opening down 0.91, 0.75 for the Dow, and 0.79 for the futures or S&P. So yeah, continuing to look not great for the breakdown. Guess I don't expect a bloodbath, to be honest with you, but because I think some of the damage is already done here, but I really expect a big pop. Hopefully, I'll be pleasantly surprised. No good news right now coming out of anywhere. No catalyst to see between now and Monday, unless there's some improvements on the war. It seems like things are getting worse, but let's kind of dive into those. Um, this was interesting and kind of echoes the sentiment we're feeling here. Bitcoin will dip to 45,000 by December 31st, 2026. Polymarket's got it at a 51% chance. Yeah, I would probably take that bet, but important thing for us to understand is it kind of explains what the sentiment people are feeling. So had a little bit of euphoria with that pump, and still indeed we're much much better off than where we were. However, oh, hold on a second here. However, we're still dealing with things. I'm going to jump over to X real quick, make sure we're looking good over here. Make sure everyone can hear me okay. Let me just open it real quick to GM everyone over there. Appreciate you guys. Okay, it looks like we're good over there. Let me drop a little GM in the chat here. Um, yes, welcome everyone. Looks like, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't say a total depressing day, but it definitely doesn't seem like um, does not seem like we're got a lot of great news in front of us right now. So that's just my feeling, and then I think it's you'll see. We'll look at the fear and greed here in a minute. I just have that feeling that we're kind of a little worse than obviously a little worse than fit than balanced here, right? And we are coming into it. Today's a Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a tequila Thursday, especially here where it's 6:21 in the morning. A little early for tequila. Um, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't see it bad. I just kind of slowly, going down. I mean, the market opening up down 1%. It's pretty big. We see, uh, we see here that. Oh, good, Artie. Thank you. Hit me over on YouTube. Says I'm coming loud and clear. You never know. I literally didn't think I was gonna be able to do the space because I was having connection issues. And I literally restarted my computer one more time and it worked. And I was actually getting ready to just leave and try and do some stuff, something from, I could, didn't quite have time. I always have my Starlink in my truck. I can do it, but it was getting too close. So I didn't think we want to make it. So I'm glad I'm here. Glad I'm here. Good to see you, Artie. Good friend from X from years and years back. But yeah, so we have Crypto.com announcing a 12% workforce reduction as part of the enterprise worldwide AI pivot. And I think those of you that have been listening to me for a while here know that I and my fund are a big investor in CoinZoom, which is a U.S. regulated exchange. Um, I was a Crypto.com user before I switched over to CoinZoom about 4 years ago. I like Crypto.com. Their fees are a little high, a lot higher than us, and their card isn't as good as ours. But next to us, it's probably the best card out there. Only difference is our card we do not have to um, put it in like a spend wallet. You can just choose what you want to spend, and it converts on the fly, blink of an eye. But anyway, I was just gonna the reason bringing that up is um, that 80% of all of we've really focused heavily on AI and how it can help us. And currently, literally 80% of our 80% of all our every customer service is taken care of by AI and to high level, right? So AI is getting so good that a lot of these jobs are not necessary anymore. So we're seeing that, and Crypto.com, great company. I really like Crypto.com. Made a lot of money on their Crow token from myself and my community early on when we were big users of it. I mean, I think several hundred X. I know that. So um, pretty and earned a lot of free coins and staking and stuff like that as well. So um, yeah. Now, Powell, one thing he did say here is Powell did say that um, you know we may be kind of at zero employment growth equilibrium, um, but that balance may not be sustainable. Feels downside risk and not really comfortable balance. What he's saying, what he was saying is, I think some of his people were pushing for a cut because of the unemployment being bad. Remember, they have a dual mandate: unemployment number one, and number two, inflation. So, um, unemployment in our favor for a rate cut. But like I said, I think there's such animosity between him and Trump. I'm not going to hold my breath, to be honest with you. This was cool. Singaporean Uber competitor Ride Group officially adopts a Bitcoin and crypto treasury strategy. So, yeah, listen. Here's what I keep telling you, and here's kind of get. I'm hoping people realize that this between Bitcoin and AI, the two best investment opportunities, massive change ahead, right? Much like I saw with the internet, I was able to get in early on in my mid 20s, involved in the internet when it was very first starting, and was able to ride that wave. And I'm telling you, it's a glorious thing, uh, and we're seeing it. And my argument is just this: we've got companies. Okay, very few companies are buying it for their treasuries and whatnot. They will be. All of them will at some point. They'll all hold some Bitcoin. Um, I think we have two states that have actually bought and about. They're talking about it. Work through various stages of legislation. All 50 states are going to do it, and Puerto Rico. We've got a couple countries doing it, buying it, like maybe what, six or seven actively. It's going to be every country. And then we have a few sovereign wealth funds. We have a few big, um, retirement accounts and big trillion, multi $100 billion, like public works funds and stuff. They're all long term holders, by the way. Um, and it's going to be all of them. And right now they have a teeny allocation that's going to grow. So I'm just telling you, buy as much Bitcoin as you can, in my opinion. Not financial advice. You always have to, learn about it. I'm just encouraging you to learn more about it and to really think about it. But I'm with Saylor. He came out and said, Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge against chaos. And I couldn't agree with him more. Right now, we're treated as a risk asset and almost like a tech stock, to be honest with you. We're the first one to get dumped and all this. But let me just tell you what, um, it's truly a hedge against inflation. More so, I would even say a hedge against you know debasement of the currency, but it's also a risk against global chaos and things like that. We're seeing it real time. We're in Dubai right now because people are trying to leave, selling gold. It's like at a 10% discount or more, because um, they don't want to take it with them and they can't get rid of it. And there's not enough demand of people buying it. Even in the U.S., I follow some gold buyers and stuff. It's kind of fun to watch people come in and selling stuff to melt down and watches and whatever. But a lot of them aren't buying, or they're taking a bigger discount than normal because of the volatility. I mean, gold and silver. Silver's more volatile than Bitcoin. I mean, we had a 40% drop in one day. So Bitcoin, anyway, enough. I'll get off my soapbox, but Bitcoin is an opportunity like you'll never probably see again in your life. Um, Hype pushes Cardano out of the top 10. I've been talking about Hype for Liquid as its own blockchain, but the main, really the only thing on it for the most part that we know about or of any significance is their perps exchange. But it's by far the biggest decentralized perp exchange. I've been buying Hype for a while, and it just took over the number 10 spot. So shout out to Hype. Probably something you ought to look into. Fear and greed. Look, we were 45, 46 days. I've been coming to you, and we've been in extreme greed all the way down to like 4, 6, like crazy numbers, right? And then it came back. I think yesterday was the first day out of extreme fear. We're still in fear anyway. We just dipped back down in extreme fear. So um, let's just say like nearly like 49 out of 50 days we've been in extreme fear, and I don't think that's going to change unless we have something pop. Which I'm just not seeing the catalyst right now. Now this was interesting. Saudi Arabia urged, or not themselves, but the U.S. Embassy in Saudi that they should leave Saudi Arabia. And not that we don't have a great relationship with Saudi Arabia. It's just that I think you become more of a target over there, being targeted, and UAE and all these guys because of our strikes on them. So just probably not a good time to be over there, which is too bad because I've been spending a lot of time in the Middle East. I love it over there. It's becoming more and more opportunities over there, and just I really like it. My father, I'll tell you, it was extremely well traveled. Um, Traveled everywhere in the world. I think he was like what, 39 times he went to Africa. Loved Africa, like myself. I kind of follow him in that. Though I've only mom and dad were divorced. So he never took me over there when I was a kid, but kept saying he was going to. Never did. I finally wound up with him when I went first trip over there, and I've been over like 16 times since. I love over there as well, but he traveled well traveled all over the world. Kind of a world famous surgeon. Did really well in life, financially wise, and never traveled the Middle East because it was such a crazy place back then. But now it's just really becoming a great place. So I hate to see this, and I'll tell you, uh, Iran's just a bad actor over there, and I think everyone underneath there's actually a meeting going on today with, I believe, in Saudi Arabia, and I think they're going to come out and officially condemn Iran. And Saudi came out yesterday and said, "Hey, our patience is not without its limits." Right? They're going to maybe start directly striking as well, and you'll see some of this stuff happen. I mean, just crazy. So I want to see it get resolved. I want to spend more time over there. I'm looking to actually buy a place in Dubai, and I'm not deterred from that just because of what's going on. I think that Iran's going to have to be. I think it's not just U.S. and Israel. I think everyone's going to come to rationalization. These guys are bad neighbors. And even China came out yesterday. I think we talked about on this show. Came out yesterday and said these guys are just, they condemned them for attacking their neighbors. So, um, yeah, not good. They're real bad actors and getting worse. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. I think we had Scott. Let's see. Well, we oh here not good at all. Iran just hit. This is breaking this morning. I just saw it reported with my guy, the Martini guy. Maybe we'll see it more widely reported, but I think it's thus far. I believe it to be true. They hit Saudi Aramco's Samref refinery in Yanbu, and Yanbu is one of two major oil export outlets since Iran shut down the Straits of Hormuz. So I believe, and I may be wrong. Check this for yourself, because like I said, I didn't have time to research it because of its late breaking nature. But if you look at the map, Saudi Arabia, for the possible problem with the Straits of Hormuz, saw this. I mean, even though it's never happened that it's been closed down in all these major conflicts, they saw the potential, and they ran stuff to the other coast. They can ship by sea. They've got a sea water on their other side as well. And I believe this is one of those refineries or that part of that pipeline system. So I'm not 100% sure. Please check into that yourself. But I believe that's what's going on. Which, listen, um, it's getting bad. Trump is now, threatened. Now Trump, it's interesting. He kind of distanced himself from Israel. Israel hitting some of the Iran's major oil gas um, infrastructure the other day. Kind of distanced himself, act like he didn't know about it or whatever. But then we got a major attack too, I believe, in Kuwait or some other. Once again, I lost those slides when my in trying to restart my computer. But there was another counterattack, and now this. But he's Trump is threatening to level that, and Besant was even talking about Kurg Island today. If they decimate that other place that got hit by the Israelis a few days ago, that they rely on 70% of their internal energy from there, and it also runs all their electrical plants and stuff. So, could cause a potential humanitarian crisis. But I think it's just tough talk. But there is talk about leveling that. Trump threatened to level that, and Besant was talking about that Carg Island. Between those two, it would absolutely wipe out Iran's energy instructions, and that's not good for new people taking over and everything like that. But I don't think they're not gonna continue to accept these strikes on their neighbors' infrastructure and stuff. So even though if you're coming from the Iran perspective, you probably feel like, hey, they're just doing what they have to do. So anyway, let's take a look over now. The market's been open a little while here, and then we'll look at the final few news pieces. But man, appreciate everyone joining me today, and uh, have we're like I say, I don't know if I'm feeling it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm wrong here, but I'm feeling like it's my prediction. Well, you know what? Before I open my mouth, let's look and let's see where we're at here. Um, I think I think we've kind of seen the worst of it, unless there's some worse news. This is already pretty bad. I mean, Bitcoin down 4%, the Nasdaq down 1. Yeah, it looks like the Nasdaq opened. Oh, geez, now it might. I'm seeing another ticker looking at 1.25. So interesting. I'm seeing 1.27 up here, and I'm seeing 0.87 there. So these are maybe delayed a few minutes anyway. So it could be, yeah. Because I don't pay for real time stuff because I don't really care about stock, other than in so much as it affects us here with our Bitcoin and crypto holdings. But yeah, the Nasdaq. Let's just suffice it to say it's around 1%. Dow down about 3/4, and S&P coming on 1%. So let's see how our beloved Bitcoin is holding up in all this turmoil. And like I say, it's early, right? This keep in mind. Um, I did run for almost 10 years. Have assisted in several companies going public. I did buy my first securities when I was in first grade. So I do know a fair amount about it, but I'm not an expert like some of the people that like Hoff and some of these people that joined my Bitcoin morning space show, but on X. But most people I talk to of his level and other people, they tell me that just they usually don't trade within that first hour. And these guys are probably more long-term investors than traders. I know traders love it because traders thrive on volatility, but a lot of long-term people don't mess with the first hour or two. Let it kind of settle if they're not day traders. So here we have Bitcoin 69,373. Let's look at the hour chart. I like to do that this time of day. Yeah, actually off the bottom. So off the bottom, but we're seeing a little dip start again. But yeah, overall 4.3% for the day, half a point. Remember, we're almost 1%, so a little better actually. Ethereum, we're looking at 2,118 at 1,800 just a week or so ago. So I'm still feeling good about, and that's what it's feeling like for the next. We got to get through the next 4 days till Monday comes around. Yeah, 2118 down 5.4% for the day, 1.8% XRP, which congratulations, they took over that number 4 spot. Like I said, still holding that. $1.43.7, down 2.2 and 0.8. So it stayed about the same when we checked it earlier. And Solana 87.68. So we've dropped 1.5% since then. So, and on the daily 3%. So yeah, that's like I say, I'm not gonna let's look at the last few news things, but that's my prediction, at least at this point, that we're just gonna kind of, you know, see what happens. I don't want to see the situation get worse. Other than that, I thought we might slowly bleed because we lose some key levels. Um, Egypt, everyone's dealing with this energy crisis in a way, and I was talking about yesterday on the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. When I came down here, I'm in Vegas right now. I drove down. I was paying over $6 a gallon for diesel, which is a lot for us. I remember it being in the low to mid threes before this happened. Of course, if Kev for King, my guy, longtime co-host for the last 4 years, and actually he's the one who started doing the space, and I was his co-host early on. Um, he was paying, they're paying sometimes $8 there. He's like, I'd love $6 gas right now. So poor guy out there grinding and getting killed. That's more so exacerbated by Gavin Newsom, the other dipshits running that country, that state, which I was born there. I love it there. Always planning on living there. My first house I put an offer in was in there, which I probably should have bought it because it did go from 210,000 to about 2.5 million. So probably should have done that. Probably should have got that house and kept it. But anyway, Egypt, they're having everyone, shops and restaurants closed by 9 p.m. due to the energy crisis. We saw, I can't remember what country it was. Oh, Sri Lanka, I think. They're closing on Hump Day, Wednesdays. They're shutting everything down. Can't drive. Can't do anything. Chill out. Relax with the family. Maybe that's a good thing. This is yesterday. I haven't seen the numbers yet, but yesterday we had 820 billion, almost a trillion, wiped out of TradFi, and 120 million wiped out of the crypto, 120 billion, excuse me, wiped out of the crypto markets. And guess what? It's going to be, could be that bad or worse today if it doesn't turn around. So, UAE announced their gas production. When I say gas, I believe they mean natural gas, completely shut down. So we're continuing to see, and that's why the market's doing what it's doing. Meta, remember this? Zuckerberg changed the name from Facebook to Meta. Guys, to be honest with you, I haven't been on Facebook since they kicked off Trump. I've never liked the censorship and stuff over there. Don't like Instagram for that same reason. But anyway, so Zuck blew $80 billion trying to make this metaverse. Remember how cheesy it was? And it's interesting. We were crazy on metaverse stuff here. The other side lands and the sandbox. I mean, metaverse was crazy here, and we kind of all, I think, lost a little money too, but not 80 billion. So shout out to Zuck. Not a big fan, to be honest with you, but yeah, what a colossal failure. Um, and this Brent Crude literally hit one. I saw regulars around high, still on, but Brent Crude surged up to 118. I don't know what it is right now, but close to a 10-year high. So that's why I kind of think, well, that's Solana. Let's look at Bitcoin here. And let's look at the hourly chart. Getting a little better, actually. See, we're getting that little, if you look at that little bit of an up pin there. So I'll take that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut out a little early because I am in Vegas and I am not sleeping enough and got some stuff to get ready for the other GM morning show. Feel free to join me over there. Appreciate everyone, whether you're following me on YouTube live this morning or on X or potentially even Rumble. I don't think I have even one follower over there, but a few people do watch the video, at least the recording, if not live. But yeah, nice little surge there. Hey, nice little surge. I like that. 69, 769. I'd love it if we could pull 70 back. I'd have a little better update. And like I say, it can get crazy in the mornings. I would just say, look, my message is dollar cost average. Do everything you can. Cut your expenses back. I used to come to Vegas once a month. I'm here on business this week. I'm here, but I've cut back on a lot of the stuff if I do, because I would rather spend that money on buying some coin and some Solana and Ethereum, whatever your flavor. But I would just say, look, don't go too crazy. But we are seeing a little bit of a uptick here. One more time. Interesting. I don't trust this signal. Yeah. Took a second to pop back up. There it wasn't. Yeah, but man, maybe we'll regain 70. I'd love to see it. But otherwise, I kind of just see sideways. Obviously, a big event out of the way, which was that FOMC meeting yesterday. We kind of got the results we were figuring. I'd love to see us get back over 70 and 71, 73. I'd love to hold over 70 and just kind of go sideways between now and Monday. I think it's kind of dependent on what happens in this war over there. But with that, guys, everyone have a good Thursday. It didn't look like it quite turned into a tequila Thursday, though there is a lot of money lost. But if you're DCAing and you're comfy in spot, you're not really losing that. So I would say have a great day. Enjoy yourself. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, internet willing. And we'll see what happens, see where we're at. I'm going to kind of predict it's kind of a little bit sideways Maybe down. I was feeling down, but maybe we grind back up and get over 70. I feel a lot cozier over 70. So with that, guys, have a great